Hello and welcome to our second quiz. It's good to see you again if you were here last week, and we hope you enjoyed it. Please remember this is a free quiz, and all we ask is that some people would donate towards our community hub. If you've already donated, then that's fine, don't feel any pressure to donate again. Last week we understand that the highest score was 40 out of 50. There's a challenge this week. Can anybody beat that? And can we make sure that Bridget doesn't top the poll this week? So it's up to you. It will be the same sort of format as last week. The questions will be multiple choice. There will be 10 questions in each round. On your paper, you can either write the answer or just the letter A, B, C or D. That might be quicker. Each question you will still be given 15 seconds to answer the question. And so let's have a look at what the rounds are for this week's quiz. Round 1. Where am I? Round 2. Where did it happen? Round 3. Oceans of the world. Round 4. History and all that. Round 5. The Olympics. So I hope there's something there that you can all have a go at. So let's start the quiz. Round 1. Where am I? Question number 1. I'm standing about 3 miles west of the town of Amesbury, Wiltshire, England, admiring a megalithic structure. What am I looking at? Is it A, Glastonbury Tor, B, Stonehenge, C, Menam Toll, D, Cleopatra's Needle? What is near Wiltshire? Question number 2. I am standing in the middle of a wildlife national park. Around me are alligators. In the background, a large metal bird lifts off on its long journey. Where am I? A, La Cité d'Europe, Calais. B, Airplane Graveyard, Belém, Brazil. C, Cape Canaveral, Florida. Or D, Cayenne in French Guiana. Where is the national park? Question number 3. I'm standing on top of the world's most famous rocks, a true Herculean pillar. 2 countries have bickered over control of this small peninsula for many years. Where am I? A, Alcatraz. B, Istanbul. C, Alaska. Or D, Gibraltar? Where is this famous rock? Question number 4. I'm standing on top of one of the oldest and biggest man-made structures on the planet, which is at least 6,352 kilometres or 3,948 miles long. What is it? A, the Great Wall of China. B, the Shard in London. C, the Great Pyramid at Giza, or D, the Orient Express Railway? What is this big structure? Question number 5. I am diving into the deepest point of the planet, over 36,000 feet in depth, and I pass many exotic life forms on the way down. Where am I? A. Sunda Trench, B. Bermuda Triangle, C. Puerto Rico Trench, or D. the Marianas Trench? Where am I? Question number 6. I'm standing looking at a whole army of terracotta soldiers. These figures were first made about 2,000 years ago and had become buried. Where am I? A. Incheon in Korea, B. Shanghai in China, C. Xi'an in China, or D. Kyoto, Japan? Where are the terracotta soldiers? Question number 7. It's almost dusk. I'm waiting to see the changes of colour on a vast monolith. This used to be called Ayers Rock, but now it's known by its Aboriginal name. What is it? A. Wagga Wagga, B. Uluru, C. Woomera, or D. Wollongong? Where is this? Used to be Ayers Rock. Question number 8. I'm crossing the Blue Danube in a city where many composers lived. Among them, Johann Strauss, Beethoven, and Mozart. Where am I? A. Vienna, B. Prague, C. Salzburg, or D. Munich? Where did a lot of the great composers live? Question number 9. I'm watching the Mardi Gras festivals in the French Quarter of a city whose main area lies between a large river and a lake. Where am I? A. New Orleans, B. Montevideo, C. Rio de Janeiro, or D. Buenos Aires? Where am I? I will change the bifocals for next week. Question number 10. I'm in the Serengeti National Park, enjoying seeing all the animals. Not too far away is the mountain that inspired one of Ernest Hemingway's short stories. What is this mountain? Is it A. Kilimanjaro, B. Everest, C. K2, or D. Krakatoa? Which mountain? And that's the end of round 1. Where in the world? Now we move on to round 2. Where did it happen? Question number 1. Benazir Bhutto was elected the first female Prime Minister of a Muslim nation in 1988. But which country did she head? Was it A. Pakistan, B. Yemen, C. Bangladesh, or D. Oman? Where did Bhutto become the first female Prime Minister? Question number 2. I have a dream. Martin Luther King Jr. fought for black rights and was murdered for his beliefs. In which US city was the assassination carried out? Was it A. Birmingham, Alabama, B. Atlanta, Georgia, C. Dallas, Texas, or D. Memphis, Tennessee? Where was Martin Luther King assassinated? Question number 3. In July 1588, Sir Francis Drake is said to have refused to launch his fleet until he had finished his game of bowls. In which town did the game take place? Was it A. Southampton, B. Brighton, C. Plymouth, or D. Portsmouth? Where was Francis Drake playing bowls? Question number 4. Auschwitz was perhaps the most notorious and deadly of all the Nazi concentration camps. But in which country was it built? Was it A. Czechoslovakia, B. Poland, C. Germany, or D. Luxembourg? Where was Auschwitz? Question number 5. The Taj Mahal is a lavish monument. It was built on the orders of Emperor Shah Jahan in 1631. In which town is it? Is it A. Bangalore, B. Agra, C. Goa, or D. Nagpur? Where is the Taj Mahal? Question number 6. The RMS Titanic was the biggest passenger liner in the world when she sank on her maiden voyage on the 14th of April 1912. Where was she built? Was it A. Belfast, Northern Ireland, B. the Clyde, Scotland, C. Limerick, the Republic of Ireland, or D. Holyhead in Wales? Where was the Titanic built? Question number 7. In 300 BC, Carthage and Rome were competing for the title Cultural Centre of the Universe. We all know where Rome is, but where was Carthage? Was it A, on the Iberian Peninsula, B, in Western Asia, C, in Eastern Europe, or D, in North Africa? Where was Carthage? Question number 8. In 1876, Lieutenant Colonel George Custer led his men into battle for the last time to be defeated by the Indians at Little Bighorn. In which US state is the site of the battle? Was it A, Wyoming, B, Montana, C, Idaho, or D, Nebraska? Where was the Battle of the Little Bighorn? Question number 9. During April the 26th, 1986, the world experienced its worst ever nuclear accident at Chernobyl, formerly part of the USSR. Where is Chernobyl now? Is it A, Estonia, B, the Ukraine, C, Moldova, or D, Belarus? Where is Chernobyl? And the last question of this round, Eureka! The great philosopher Archimedes discovered the principles of density and buoyancy while having a bath. But where was he from? Is it A, Sicily, B, Corsica, C, Cyprus, or D, Menorca? Where was Archimedes from? And that's the end of round 2. So we move on swiftly to round 3. And round 3 is all about the oceans of the world. Question number 1. Which is the largest ocean in the world? A, the Indian Ocean, B, Pacific, C, Atlantic, or D, the Arctic? Which is the largest ocean in the world? Question number 2. Which is the deepest ocean in the world? Is it A, the Indian, B, the Pacific, C, the Atlantic, or D, the Arctic? Which is the deepest ocean? Question number 3. Which ocean lies between Europe and North America? Is it A, the Indian, B, the Pacific, C, the Atlantic, or D, the Arctic? Which ocean lies between Europe and North America? Question number 4. Which pair of oceans do not meet? A, the Pacific and Atlantic, B, the Pacific and the Indian, C, the Atlantic and the Southern, or D, the Arctic and the Southern? Which pair of oceans do not meet? Question number 5. Which ocean is frozen for much of the year? Is it A, the Indian, B, the Pacific, C, the Atlantic, or D, the Arctic? Which ocean is frozen for much of the year? Question number 6. In which ocean is Hawaii? Is it A, the Indian, B, the Pacific, C, the Atlantic, or D, the Arctic? Which ocean is Hawaii in? Question number 7. Which ocean lies between Australia and Africa? Can you guess the answers? A, the Indian, B, the Pacific, C, the Atlantic, or D, the Arctic? The ocean between Australia and Africa. Question number 8. Which ocean does the River Amazon flow into? Is it A, the Indian, B, the Pacific, C, the Atlantic, or D, the Arctic? Which ocean does the Amazon River flow into? Question 9. How many continents have coastlines on the Arctic Ocean? Is it A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, or D, 4? How many continents have coastlines on the Arctic Ocean? And question number 10. Through how many oceans does the equator run? Is it A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, or D, 4? How many oceans does the equator run through? And that leads us to a break from the quiz. I'll give you the answers, but it will give you time to give your brains a rest. The answers to round 1 are as follows. Question 1, B, Stonehenge. Question 2, C, Cape Canaveral in Florida. Question 3, D, Gibraltar. Question 4, A, the Great Wall of China. Question 5, D, the Marianas Trench. Question 6, C, Xi'an, China. Question 7, B, Uluru. Question 8, A, Vienna. Question 9, A, New Orleans. And question 10, A, Kilimanjaro. So if you add up the number that you got correct out of 10, and we move on to the answers for round 2. Question 1, A, Pakistan. Question 2, D, Memphis, Tennessee. Question 3, C, Plymouth. Question 4, B, Poland. Question 5, B, Agra. Question 6, A, Belfast in Northern Ireland. Question 7, D, North Africa. Question 8, B, Montana. Question 9, B, the Ukraine. And question 10, A, Sicily. How many out of 10? And the answers for round 3 are as follows. Question 1, B, the Pacific. Question 2, B, the Pacific. Question 3, C, the Atlantic. Question 4, D, the Arctic and the Southern. Question 5, D, the Arctic. Question 6, B, the Pacific. Question 7, A, the Indian. Question 8, C, Atlantic. Question 9, C, 3. And question 10, C, 3. Total your answers and then add the scores from the 3 rounds together so that you've got a score out of 30. Are you doing as well as this time last week or not? I don't think I would have been this week doing quite as well, but there we go. And now, last week I told you a little bit about our project. We're going to ask Kathy to tell you that little bit more about it. So here's Kathy.
Good evening, everyone. I've just popped in tonight to bring you up to date with where we are with our redevelopment project. Things haven't stood still during lockdown. We've continued to fill in grant application forms and send them off and await decisions. We have been fortunate in that we've had 1 or 2 come back with potential funding, and that's just put a little bit more money in the coffers, which is good news. Unfortunately, we've been turned down by other grant providers, but that's the way it is. But we're not going to be despondent. We're going to just move forward and continue where we are, continue to raise funds, continue to put applications in for money. So that's where we are financially. With regards to the building, what we've decided is that we're going to turn the project into 2 phases. The first phase would be bringing the levels the same. So, you know, that basically, in a nutshell, that is if you think about the area between the new room and the toilets and the quiet room area, that whole space there would come up to 1 level, and you would walk from floor to floor from the main hall through to the new room on 1 level. So that's really quite an expensive investment, but it's got to be done, and it's a priority. During the time we're having that done, what we would like to do is to refurbish the toilets. Now, this is something that isn't part of the project. It's something that we want to do ourselves. So any of you out there that have got potential skills, you know, we're looking at plumbers, carpenters, painters and decorators, plasterers, tilers, whatever skills you've got, or if you know anybody that's got any skills and they would like to come along and support us, please knock on our door. We'd be happy to see you. So once we have sorted out as much as we can with phase 1, then we would move into phase 2, and that would be going through the quiet room, through the vestry area, and creating a new opening into the sanctuary. But obviously that would possibly come a little bit later on, but we are committed to ensure that this project goes through. But it does all depend on finances. So that's really where we are at the moment. But what we want to do is to encourage you to continue to support us, continue to participate in our fundraisers, and we know that looking ahead, it's not going to be too long before we're all sitting in that cafe enjoying a cappuccino or a latte, that's my favourite, and a big slab of homemade cake. So let's look to the future, let's be positive, and thanks for listening tonight. Good night, God bless, happy quizzing.
Thank you, Kathy. And so now you've had your little break, we can move on to round 4. Round 4 of the quiz, which is all about, dun dun dun, here it comes, history and all that. Question number 1. Which rock band formed in 1994 takes its name from a term used by the Allies in the Second World War to describe various UFOs? Is it A, UB40, B, Nirvana, C, the Foo Fighters, or D, the Cranberries? Which was the rock band that used its name from a UFO from the Second World War? Question number 2. Going simply by their name, what underwear would you expect the anti-European Chinese rebels of 1900 to have worn? A, long johns, B, briefs, C, boxers, or D, thermals? The anti-European Chinese rebels of 1900. Question number 3. Peter the Great, when it came to taxes, was a bit eccentric. What thing did he tax? Was it A, beards, B, air, C, water, or D, moustaches? What did Peter the Great tax? Question number 4. As a child, you might have played with a little toy called a speak and say. But if you've played with a speakeasy, what have you done? A, loitered in an illegal bar during Prohibition. B, carried on a conversation with a bouncer. C, hung out with a private detective. Or D, spoke to a security guard. What's a speak easy? Question number 5. Some people have a motto or a theme for their life. What was the theme of the French King Louis XIV's reign? Was it A, I think, therefore I am, B, I am the state, C, et tu, Brute, Or D, I have the Midas touch? What was the theme of King Louis's reign? Question number 6. Who was the Prime Minister to advise King George I and King George II? Was it A, Robert Peel, B, Robert Redford, C, Robert Burns, or D, Robert Walpole? Which Robert advised King George I and George II? Question number 7. According to the legend, Marie Antoinette was famous for saying, "Let them eat cake." Who was she referring to? Was it A, the upper class, B, the nobility, C, the middle class, or D, the peasants? Who did Marie Antoinette say could eat cake? Question number 8. How many of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still exist? Is it A, 3, B, 2, C, 1, or D, none? How many of the ancient wonders of the world still exist? Question number 9. Who founded the Mongol Empire? Was it A, Genghis Khan, B, Kublai Khan, C, Imran Khan, or D, Joan of Arc? Who founded the Mongol Empire? And question number 10. By what name was Iran known before the 20th century? Is it A, Kabilistan, B, Amuruz, C, Persia, or D, Arabia? What name was Iran known as? And the next round is round 5. And that is the Olympics. So let's move on to question 1. For all of these questions, the answers are in the yellow boxes. There are no red herrings in the box, and the table will stay on the screen for all of the round. So the answers are in the yellow boxes. Question 1. Which was Usain Bolt's last Olympics? When did Usain Bolt last compete in the Olympic Games? Question 2. What is the weight in pounds of the men's shot put? How heavy is the men's shot put? Question number 3. In which race distance does Christine Ahuragu specialise? How far does she run? Question number 4. How many Olympic individual and team gold medals has Michael Phelps won? Gold medals for Michael Phelps, both individual and with a team. Question 5. How many gold medals has Iceland won in the Summer or Winter Games? Gold medals for Iceland in either season. Question 6. The Olympic records for this distance are 19.3 seconds for men and 21.34 seconds for women. What distance? Which distance took men and women that amount of time to run? Question 7. How many events are there in a heptathlon? Heptathlon. How many events? Question 8. In which year did Andy Murray win the Olympics and the following year Wimbledon? So when did Andy Murray win the Olympics and then Wimbledon? Question 9. How many interlock rings are there? How many rings on the Olympic flag? And question 10. What was the total number of Olympic and Paralympic sports in London 2012? The total number of Olympic and Paralympic sports in the London Games. Now we'll give you just a minute or so in case you want to swap any of those answers round. Don't think I did very well in that round. Hope you did better. So thank you for playing the quiz again tonight. That was the last question, and we'll move on to see how you did. So here are the answers for rounds 4 and 5. Answers for round 4. Question 1, C, the Foo Fighters. Question 2, C, boxers. Question 3, A, beards. Question 4, A, loitered in an illegal bar during Prohibition. Question 5, B, I am the state. Question 6, D, Robert Walpole. Question 7, D, peasants. Question 8, C, 1, Question 9, A, Genghis Khan. And question 10, C, Persia. And fitting the right numbers to the right questions in round 5, the answers are as follows. Question 1, 2016. Question 2, 16. Question 3, 400. Question 4, 23. Question 5, 0. Question 6, 200. Question 7, 7. Question 8, 2012. Question 9, 5. And question 10, 46. So if you add up out of 10 and add that score to all the other answers, you've now got your score out of 50. So if you add up all of the points in round 4 and round 5, add them to the points in rounds 1 to 3, and you've got your score out of 50. And you've found out, is it the same person in your house who has won as last week, or is it somebody different? Or again, have you got 2 people on the same score? In which case we move on to our tiebreaker question. For the tiebreaker question, you will need to write down the number of the answer. We'll give you a little bit longer than the 15 seconds, but you have to work out the number and write it down. So here is the question. Including the antenna at the top, how many meters tall is the Eiffel Tower? How tall is the Eiffel Tower, including the antenna on the top? And I hope you both didn't put the same answer. The answer is 324 meters. That's how tall the Eiffel Tower is. I know it seemed a long way when I climbed it. And that's the end of the quiz. So thank you for playing with us again tonight. I hope you will join us again next week. Next week, one of the rounds will have a bit of a sting in the tail, but I'm not going to tell you about that until next week. If you've enjoyed it, then please feel free to share it with family and friends and get them to come and join us next week on Wednesday. But as last week, you can go on this quiz again anytime between now and next Wednesday. So thank you for joining us, thank you for supporting, and thank you for donating. Good night and God bless. Answers for round 4.